In this video, I'm going to show you what a J pouch is with a bunch of good visuals. Why somebody should get one, when somebody shouldn't get one, what to expect when this is happening to you, and like some of the details behind the procedure. I used to have really bad Crohn's and colitis, and this was something my doctor was suggesting. And I instead of doing it, I addressed the root cause of the problem, and I got better. And I've actually helped many people do this who were days away from getting surgery. So the first thing that they do in this surgery, they do this because the colon is, in their eyes, beyond repair, which is usually only true probably 5 to 10% of the time. So, maybe there's a bunch of tumors on the colon, maybe it is super inflamed, but the doctor deems is that it is beyond repair and we need to remove it. So they put you to sleep and they cut it out. So let's get rid of this because I'm tired of holding it. Now here's where the first problems start to arise. How inflamed is the rectum? Because if the rectum is really beat up and they have to cut close to the muscles, this is where people start to run into incontinent issues, where they can't hold their stool in and they constantly have diarrhea and leakages all the time. We want to avoid cutting into the muscle almost at all costs. Like there's nothing ever good happens from cutting into muscles when the intestines are involved. So the more safe space we have between the rectal muscles and where they can connect the small intestine to the rectum, the better. But they're essentially making a colon out of your small intestine by folding it onto itself in a very Frankenstein manner. And when I was thinking about this, I was like, you can do that and actually it would still work. And I would see, studies saying like, oh yeah, it's a 90% success rate. And I went, I don't know how that's a 90% success rate or what your definition of success is, because you're cutting through lots of intestinal muscles. And intestinal muscles do not like to go back together. They just don't. It's very hard for that to happen. And when I started reading further studies, these people were still going to the bathroom 8 times a day. I don't know who has time for that. I sure don't. 90% of them could not wait more than 15 minutes, or they would go to the bathrooms in their pants. They literally could not hold it for more than 15 minutes. And then after they went to the bathroom, within another 15 minutes, they had to go to the bathroom again. And they were still on expensive drugs. This is what I mean by intestinal muscles do not like to go back together very well. So I'm going to show you this with a pipe, what they're doing in a little bit. But they take the end of the small intestine, they do a little cut right here so they can fold it, and then they sew this opening to your rectum, and then they have to cut this wall, and then they sew it together. They're creating a bigger bag so you can hold more poop. So to show you with this pipe right here, they're folding it, and then they're cutting this. Boom. Now all right. Then this is what they're sewing to your rectum right here. Then they got to somehow cut the inside of this on both tubes, and then they're going to sew here and here and pray that it works. And studies show, how successful that is. Now, the problem with this approach is maybe all the diarrhea is coming from the colon, and then that's going to fix your diarrhea, even though it doesn't seem like it. 8 times, you should only be going to the bathroom 1 to 2 times a day, and it should be formed. But the small intestine could cause diarrhea. The intestinal muscles could cause diarrhea. The gallbladder could be causing diarrhea. The pancreas could be causing diarrhea. And a brilliant German doctor discovered that this process is all controlled by the brain. I'm not saying it's all in your head. I'm saying that it's controlled in your brain. He could look at your brain CT scan and know exactly what gut conditions you had or what any other disease you had. And he said that they all originated from a conflict shock, a stressful situation that caught us off guard. Now, if someone's having a lot of diarrhea, they're going to be very angry and frustrated, and they're going to have this attitude of, I want to get rid of this crap, but I can't. Maybe it's a crappy boyfriend or a crappy girlfriend or a crappy boss or a crappy teacher. And then if it's in the small intestine, it's what is something important to my survival that I can't digest and absorb. Oh, I need to digest more money. Oh, I need to digest more of my girlfriend, more of my boyfriend. This is what's putting our gut in and out of overdrive. Now, if you cut out your colon and you're still stressed out about that thing, it's just sending that signal to go into overdrive and that organ's not there. But a lot of people, let's pretend this is the brain, it's sending a signal to the colon, it's not there. You don't get symptoms. So I guess that technically fixes the problem. But now your intestinal muscles are all shredded and they physically can't hold in a stool because the muscles are all messed up. But you could also have your brain sending a signal to the pancreas that is causing diarrhea, to the gallbladder that's causing diarrhea, or to the intestines, that's the small intestines that's causing diarrhea, or the intestinal muscles. So you've only, in one really crap, expensive, painful way, addressed one cause of diarrhea. When you don't understand what's going on behind the scenes, you can really make a mess of things. I have helped many people avoid this surgery and avoid just surgery in general, just simply by addressing the root cause that we're literally days away from getting this surgery. I show you everything step by step what I did to fix my gut with my program.
It was a mountain of blood. The whole colon. It wasn't just ulcerative colitis. It was pancolitis, so it means not a single part of my intestine wasn't covered in ulcer. If this flare does not stop, they were begging me to cut out my colon. Literally, they were saying, "It's okay."
Yeah.
I've made colonoscopy. I had my colonoscopy a month ago, and the colon is clear.